My name is Matt York. I live on the South Shore. I live a long ways from here, and I have this absurd job where I drive around and I sing the songs of The Highwaymen, Johnny Cash, and Willie Nelson. And over the last 3 years or so, I've done over 500 concerts, going as far north as Toronto and as far south as Nashville, Tennessee. I play these songs in small theaters and clubs. I play them at senior centers. I play them at outdoor summer concerts. I go pretty much everywhere that they'll have me. I don't dress in black. I don't wear a bandana. I don't do any of that stuff. I love these guys. I've been a musician myself, and I've had a fair amount of success, I guess, doing things, doing my own music. But when I would go down to Tennessee and Texas when I was performing, doing my own stuff, I would notice that, you know, kind of time was forgetting some of the artists that were so influential to me. So, you know, Johnny Cash is obviously still, you know, ever present, and Willie Nelson is as well. But a lot of their peers, folks like Waylon Jennings and Merle Haggard and Chris Christopherson and Ray Price, and guys that were just a huge part of my love of country music, were kind of being forgotten with time. So I started doing the songs of the Highwaymen. People seemed to tolerate it, and so I started doing a version of it that was the songs of Cash. This isn't really a best. It isn't. Isn't like a greatest hits type thing. It sounds like this. I've been ungrateful, I've been unwise, restless from the cradle. Now I realize it's so hard to see the rainbow through glasses dark as these. Maybe I'll be able from now on my knees. Take this weight from me. Oh, let my spirit be unchained. Old man swearing at the sidewalk, and I'm overcome. Seems that we've both forgotten to go home. Have I seen an angel, or have I seen a ghost? Where's that Rock of Ages when I need it most? Oh, I'm weak. Oh, I know I am vain. Take this weight from me. Oh, let my spirit be unchained. There you go. Look at that, start off with a happy one. Love, it's a burning thing. Oh, it makes a fire fiery ring. Bound by wild desire, I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, down the flames. They went higher and it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, oh, the ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, down, yeah, but the flames, they went higher and it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, oh, the ring of fire. The taste of love is sweet, oh, when hearts like ours beat. I fell for you like a child, oh, but the fire went wild. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 yeah, but the flames, they went higher and it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, oh, the ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 yeah, but the flames, they went higher and it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, oh, the ring of fire. Oh, it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, oh, the ring of fire. Oh, the ring of fire, oh, the ring of fire. Oh, the ring of fire. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. One of the things I really like about doing the songs of Cash, I'm doing a ton of Willie Nelson concerts right now, and Willie's my all-time favorite, and so I love doing those. And I did a Highwaymen earlier today, but the thing I really enjoy about doing Cash is that he just had all these different interesting chapters in his career. You know, he starts off at Sun Records in Memphis with Elvis. Some of his very first concerts were as the opening act for Elvis in the 50s, so those were pretty big concerts. In the 60s, he marries June Carter, does the Folsom Prison album, San Quentin album, and then had this really influential television show at the late 60s and early 70s. I was born in '72, and so between 1972 and 1985, Cash only had one top 10 hit, and his career was really, really fading quite a bit. And he was making some bad movies, and he was making some bad albums. And then the Highwaymen came along in 1985, and he had this big boost again in his career. And then he had kind of hit another lull in the early 90s, and then made the 5 beautiful albums that he made with Rick Rubin before he passed away. Cash died 21 years ago. He was 71 years old when he died. He died 4 months after June Carter passed away. This song is a song from early in his career that was a big hit for him. I'm not sure it's one of his most well-known songs, but it's one I love playing. Well, you ask me if I'll forget my baby. I guess I will someday. I don't like it, but I guess things happen that way. Oh, you ask me if I'll get along. I guess I will some way. I don't like it, but I guess things happen that way. God gave me that girl to lean on, then he put me on my own. Heaven help you be a man and have the strength to stand alone. I don't like it, but I guess things happen that way. Oh, you ask me if I'll miss her kisses. I guess I will every day. I don't like it, but I guess things happen that way. Oh, you ask me if I'll find another. I don't know, I can't say. I don't like it, but I guess things happen that way. God gave me that girl to lean on, then He put me on my own. Heaven help me be a man and have the strength to stand alone. I don't like it, I guess things happen that way. I don't like it, but I guess things happen that way. I don't like it, but I guess things happen that way. Thank you very much. Thank you. I want to thank Margaret and the library and the cable folks and the Cultural Council here for making this all happen. I remember when we were here 2 years ago, I think it was about 200 degrees outside, if I remember, and we had a small crowd here, and I couldn't blame them because it was just brutal out. So this is a lot more manageable. The next song I'm going to do is a song written by the great Kris Kristofferson. Sunday Morning Coming Down was the Country Music Awards Song of the Year in 1971 for Cash. It was really one of his last big hits until later in his career. Kristofferson had this incredible background. He had been a Rhodes Scholar and a pilot in the military, and he moved to Nashville, took a job as a custodian at a recording studio down there with the hopes of getting his songs into the hands of folks like Cash. This song, I can say unequivocally, this song is the one that people, not because of my version of it, this is the song that people talk to me all the time about afterwards, about how this one has impacted them one way or another through the years. And both Willie and Bob Dylan have talked about how there was Nashville prior to Chris's arrival, and then there was Nashville afterwards, in the sense that, just the depth of his lyrics. When you get through this song, you feel like you've, read the screenplay to an incredible movie. And so it sounds a little like this. I've probably played this song 500 times, and I swear I have not committed the words to memory just yet. Well, I woke up Sunday morning with no way to hold my head that didn't hurt. Oh, the beer I had for breakfast wasn't bad, so I had one more for dessert. Then I fumbled in my closet, threw my clothes and found my cleanest dirty shirt. Washed my hands, combed my hair, and in that store took the day. I smoked my mind the night before with cigarettes and songs that I've been singing. But I lit my first and I watched a small kid playing with a can that he was kicking. Then I walked across the street, I caught the Sunday smell of someone frying chicken. Oh, it took me back to something that I lost somehow, somewhere along the way. On a Sunday morning sidewalk, I'm wishing, Lord, I was stoned. Oh, there's something in a Sunday that'll make your body feel alone. Yeah, there's nothing short of dying, half as lonesome as the sound of a sleeping city sidewalk. Sunday morning coming down. On the park I saw her daddy with a laughing little girl that he was swinging. And I stopped beside a Sunday school. I listened to the songs that they were singing. And I headed across the street, and somewhere far away a lonely bell was ringing. and it echoed through the day, like our disappearing dreams of yesterday. On a Sunday morning sidewalk, I'm wishing, Lord, that I was stoned. Oh, there's something in a Sunday that'll make your body feel alone. Yeah, there's nothing short of dying, half as lonesome as the sound of a sleeping city sidewalk. Sunday morning coming down. Yeah. Oh. Whoa. Thank you very much. I have one Southbridge story. Sometimes I stay at that hotel, where the eyeglass place was, you know, that whatever that hotel is. Yeah, I stay there sometimes because it's you know, like on the weekends, I don't know, it doesn't seem like it's that expensive, and I stay at a lot of really sketchy hotels, and that one's not sketchy, so it feels like paradise when I stay there. So one day I was down here, I don't know where else, I think I was in Connecticut actually playing, and I was on my way home, and I stopped and I stayed there, and I ran out to go get some food or something at like 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I came into the center, I guess, and I was at a gas station. It was pitch dark out, and there was this old dude walking up the hill, and like he couldn't walk very well, like he was clearly winded, and he came over to me and he said, "I need you to drive me up the hill." And I said, "All right, I'll drive you up the hill." And I got in the car and I immediately regretted my decision because he was like, "You got a couple bucks on you?" And I said, "I don't." He's like, "You must have change in here somewhere." I said, "Oh, no." And so I dropped him off at the liquor store with 8 quarters, and I'm not sure what he ended up getting with that. But I was like, you know, maybe I should not have done that in hindsight. So, but I do love the hotel. I was just there a couple weeks ago. And I'm going to do a couple of short songs from the At Folsom Prison album. You know, Cash had just married June Carter around that time, and you know, he had his first marriage. He had 4 daughters, including Rosanne Cash, and Rosanne had, you know, she had 13 #1 hit songs herself. And you know, I think anybody that saw the movie Walk the Line, you get this sense that, you know, had it not been for June, that, you know, that they kind of you know, lived happily ever after. And you know, it was much more complicated thing than that. Cash really was in and out of rehab at various times throughout his life and later in life, and they had a lot of struggles later in life. It's a terrific book if you're a fan of Cash. It's really about June Carter, but it's a book written by John Carter Cash. So they had one son together. They had one child together, June and Johnny. And John Carter Cash is a music producer down in Nashville, and he still is. He's about my age probably. And so he was a lot younger than the rest of their kids. So he grew up in the 70s, living with them, and in the 80s. And you know, he talked about what his life was like, and not in a tell-all sort of way, or not in any sort of negative way, but in just this, you know, he knew that his parents would want to know the struggles that they had gone through, you know, that their fans knew that they had battled addiction, they had battled all of these things in their marriage and stuff. And it's a really beautiful book. I forget the name of it, but like I said, it's primarily about June, but it's this beautiful collection of stories about, you know, their time as a family. And but Folsom Prison was recorded right around that same time. My bills are all due, all the babies need shoes, and I'm busted. Cotton is down to $1/4 a pound, and I'm busted. I got a cow that went dry, a hen that won't lay, a big stack of bills that get bigger each day. The county's gonna haul my belongings away. I'm busted. I went to to my brother to ask for a loan. I was busted. I hate to beg like a dog for a bone, but I'm busted. My brother said there ain't a thing I can do. My wife and my kids are all down with the flu. I was just thinking of calling on you. I'm busted. Lord, I'm no thief, but a man can go wrong when he's busted. The food that we canned last summer, it's gone and I'm busted. The fields are all bare, all the cotton won't grow. Me and my family, we gotta pack up and go. And where I'll make a living, the Lord only knows. I'm busted. At my door the leaves are falling. A cold wild wind will come. Sweethearts walk by together. I still miss someone. I go out to all the parties. I look for a little fun, but I find the darkened corner. Oh, I still miss someone. Though I never got over those blue eyes, I see them everywhere. I miss those arms that held me when all the love was there. When all the love was there. When all the love was there. Thank you. I am a real pro, folks. I just want to tell you that a little notification just came up on my phone, and it said, make sure to thank the Cultural Council, make sure to thank the library, make sure to thank the cable folks, and the grant that I asked for, they actually gave extra money. So thank you for extra money. Yeah, woo, extra money. Huge extra money guy. I'm going to do a song by Merle Haggard next. For those of you that may not be big country music fans and may not be all that familiar with Merle, he spent essentially the ages of about 13 or so to 21, 22. He was locked up in juvenile lockups and then adult prisons for a variety of crimes. And he was in and out, and he was playing the bars out in Bakersfield, California, where he grew up. So he was already doing some music stuff, but he wasn't a particularly violent guy. He wasn't a drug addict. He was, the 14-year-old kid that would steal your car and crash it into a tree, and they'd put him in a juvenile lockup, and then he'd break out of that juvenile lockup, and they'd catch him again and put him in a more secure one. He ended up in San Quentin prison, and while he was in San Quentin, Johnny Cash came and played a concert, and Merle watched him and said, I think when I get out of here, I'll just go become Johnny Cash. That seems like a terrific job, And Merle Haggard would go on to have 30 number one hits on the country charts. He had twice as many number one hits as Cash, and more than just about anybody. And, it's a funny thing in this day and age now where, Matt York, the fake Johnny Cash guy, comes here and you can just Google me and figure out where I'll be next week and everything you need to know about me. But back in the day, Merle got out of San Quentin, and a year or two later he's on the Grand Ole Opry, and nobody knew where Merle had come from, And so he was really agonizing over how to handle that, because he knew eventually it was going to come to a head. And he and Cash had got to know each other a little bit after he became a star, and he reached out to Cash and sought his advice. And Cash was really adamant that he should talk about his past and talk about what had happened with him, and he brought him on the Johnny Cash Show, which was a broadcast each week on ABC, and they did an interview together where he did talk about that. And I think it was a really big moment in country music because a lot of these guys would kind of play up the outlaw thing a bit, and I think Waylon Jennings used to say that the only outlaw thing that Willie Nelson ever did was not pay for his parking ticket or whatever. Merle had lived that life, but he wasn't writing about felons. He wasn't writing about crime. He was writing about some of these folks that had just been forgotten and the downtrodden and stuff like that. And so this is one of my favorite Merle songs. I think he has the greatest singing voice of all time, or certainly one of them. And so it's not easy to sing a Merle song, but this is a song called "It's Not Love, But It's Not Bad." She was always there each time I needed you, holding on to me like I held on to you. We still don't have what you and I once had. No, it's not love, but it's not bad. No, it's not love. It's not like ours was. It's not love, but it keeps love from driving me mad. And I don't have to wonder who she's had. No, it's not love, but it's not bad. I turn to her when you leave me alone. Sometimes even when you're here, well, you're still gone. She's slowly changing what you leave so sad. No, it's not love, but it's not bad. No, it's not love, not like ours was. It's not love, but it keeps love from driving me mad. And I don't have to wonder who she's had. No, it's not love, but it's not bad. No, it's not love, but it's not bad. I hear the train a-comin', rolling round the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since, well, I don't know when. Well, I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. All time keeps dragging on. Oh, but that train keeps on rolling on down to San Antone. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. Well, I shot a man in Reno, oh, just to watch him die. Oh, when I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and I cry.
I bet there's rich folks eating from a fancy dining car. They're probably drinking coffee or smoking big cigars. Well, I know I had it coming. I know I can be. Oh, but those people keep on moving, and that's what tortures me. Well, if they freed me from this prison, well, if that railroad train was mine, I guess I'd move it on a little farther down the line. Oh, Folsom Prison, oh, that's where I want to stay. Oh, and I let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away.
So Cash wrote Folsom Prison when he was in the military, and he was stationed over in Germany, and he was just starting out as a songwriter. He really wasn't, it wasn't like he was a recording artist at that point or anything. He just wrote the song. He saw the movie Behind the Walls of Folsom Prison and thought that'd be a good subject for a song, and he was right. It worked out really good for him. But he didn't exactly come up with it on his own completely. And this song is from 1935, I believe it is.
I hear the train a-comin', it's rollin' round the bend, and I ain't been kissed, Lord, since I don't know when. The boys in Crescent City.
See, you can see similarities there, I think, right? Yeah. So when he released that song in the 50s, nobody said a word. The songwriter is a guy by the name of Gordon Jenkins that wrote that song, and they didn't do anything about it. They just let it go. And but then when he did the Folsom Prison album, he did a much more electrified, upbeat version of that song that also was a big hit. And that time they did go after him for plagiarism, and Cash settled with them for $75,000, which seems like he might have got the better end of the deal on that one. And no matter what, they did not write the line, "I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die." So I mean, that's worth something. This next song is a song that Cash wrote early in his career, but it's a song that was also on the first Highwaymen album. Bob Dylan just put out a book about a year or two ago. It was, I don't know exactly how to explain it, but basically it's about 100 songs that are kind of what he considered the foundations of American music. And this was one of the songs that he included.
I taught the weeping willow how to cry, cry, cry. And I showed the clouds how to cover up a clear blue sky. Tears I cried for that woman, well, they're gonna flood you, big river. Oh, I'm gonna sit right here until I die. I met her accidentally in St. Paul, Minnesota. God tore me up every time I heard her drawl, southern drawl. And I followed you, big river, when you call. Oh, you took me to St. Louis, later on down the river. The freighter said she's been here, but she's gone, boy, she's gone. I found her trail in Memphis, oh, she just walked up the bluff. She raised a few eyebrows and she went on down low. Now won't you batter down my Baton Rouge River, Queen, roll it up. Take that woman on down to New Orleans, New Orleans. Go on, I've had enough, I've done my blues down she loves you, Big River, more than me. Now I taught the weeping willow how to cry, cry, cry. And I showed the clouds how to cover up a clear blue sky. Tears I cried for that woman, well, they're gonna flood you, Big River. I'm gonna sit right here until I die. Well, I'm gonna sit right here until I die. Well, I'm gonna sit right here until I die.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna play this one. This is a song that Cash did later in his career. That was a song that was written during World War II. It was a British song, I believe. It's called "We'll Meet Again," and you know, at the time it was written for all the soldiers that were going off to war, that they'd be reunited with their family and friends before long. Cash wrote this, like I said, he passed away at 71, and he recorded just a slew of these songs at the end of his career, and he had been in bad health for a long time. June had also been in bad health for a number of years. I was reading that book I mentioned earlier, the John Carter Cash book. When they were both sick, they would rent out an entire wing of the hospital at Vanderbilt University, and that was just the Cash area. The fake Johnny Cash guy doesn't budget that, like, at all. Like, I don't have my own wing, at all. At all. We'll meet again. I don't know where, I don't know when, but I know we'll meet again.
Some sunny day.
Keep shining through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. Oh, will you please say hello to all the folks that I know? Tell them I won't be long. Oh, they'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. We'll meet again. I don't know where, I don't know when. I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep shining through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. Oh, will you please say hello to all the folks that I know? Tell them I won't be long. Oh, they'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. We'll meet again. I don't know where, I don't know when. I know we'll meet again some Sunday. I know we'll meet again some Sunday. There's a time when she used to dance in Reno, and she'd brag like some minor leaguer might. But she knew her last cat call had been a while before, so she thought I could be her something new. One more dance, then this whole thing is over.
One more dance, then you'll see that I am true. One more, another thing she'll justify. She said, let's wait till the morning, I gotta see my other baby tonight. Gently used like an old dress you borrowed, gently used like some lady's Subaru. Not amused by anything that I could do. She said, let's wait till the morning, I gotta see my other baby tonight. Gently used, well, she looked right out the window, and she felt the responsibilities, but she dreams of something she won't ever be. She said, let's wait till the morning, I gotta see my other baby tonight. She said, let's wait till the morning, I gotta see my other baby tonight.
Thank you. So somebody had asked me to play one of my own songs, and that was one of my own songs that I just did. I've been a singer-songwriter forever, and I get to do lots of really cool stuff doing my own music, and I've got to travel all over the place doing that. But whenever people ask me to do it, one of two ways it happens. One, they ask me at the end, and I've just played like Ring of Fire, or On the Road Again, and it's like, hey, let me just slide one of these in for you. So I figured I'd just try to sneak it in, and then I'd tell you about it afterwards, and you're like, yeah, that wasn't that bad. Thank you. Later in Cash's career, he met Rick Rubin, and if you're not familiar with Rick Rubin, he's a great music producer that was responsible for an awful lot of the great rap and hip-hop albums of the 80s and 90s, and a lot of rock and roll albums from back then. And he's worked with everybody at some point or another. And some of you may have seen him on 60 Minutes not too long ago. He's got this big like ZZ Top beard, and he's very zen. He seems like a nice fella. And he's this funny dude where he doesn't know how to play an instrument, he doesn't know how to sing, and he doesn't know how to use a mixing board. But when he can get people to make a song sound like what he wants it to sound like, millions of people buy that record. So it's a terrific skill. And he was at a supper club out in California in around 1993, and Johnny Cash was playing the supper club and sitting there playing Ring of Fire while people are sitting there, eating steak. And it just horrified him. Cash was one of his real heroes, and he hated to see kind of, where things had led. And so he went backstage, and he wasn't sure if Cash knew who he was or not, but he went up to him and he said, listen, I want to make the greatest album you've ever made in your life. And he said, Cash looked at him like, I wrote At Folsom Prison. And they began a partnership that day, though, and they'd send CDs back and forth to each other of all these different songs they thought might work. An awful lot of the songs that Cash did record during those American recording series at the end of his life were songs by other people. And We'll Meet Again was one of the ones that I just played. And for an awful lot of people my age and younger, that's the version of Cash that they know. And I say this whenever I play to the senior center, for instance. I always tell folks there that if they have a grandkid in their early 20s, I play bars all the time on a Friday night, Saturday night, and their drunken grandkid loves Johnny Cash the same way that their parents did and their grandkids did. It's a remarkable thing, and so they just started kind of pecking away at this thing, and John Carter Cash also would help with the production, and Johnny Cash had this cabin in Tennessee. And he would bring in all these musicians, and when he was healthy enough to come down there and record, he would. Someday they'd get stuff done, sometimes they wouldn't. If June was ill, they would just scrap the sessions. But they just had all these great players, and 4 of those 5 albums that he made are really, for the most part, just guitar and vocals with a little bit of stuff added. And then the one album that he did with a full band, he used Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers as his backup band, and that's a pretty good way to do things. Yeah, if you're going to do it, that's the way to do it. And so this is probably the most famous song of his songs at the end of the career. It's probably the darkest of his songs, but certainly one. I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on pain, the only thing that's real. The needle tears a hole, the old familiar sting. Tried to kill it all away, but I remember everything. What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end, and you could have it all. My empire of dirt, I will let you down. I will make you hurt. I wear this crown of thorns upon my liar's chair, full of broken thoughts that I cannot repair. Beneath the strings of time, the feeling disappears. You are someone else, I am still right here. What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end. Oh, you could have it all. My empire of dirt, I will let you down. I will make you hurt. If I could start again, 1,000,000 miles away, I would keep myself, I would find a way. There you go. Nice chipper one for you. I almost never play that one because it's so dark, and it's funny. It was written by the band 9 Inch Nails, their singer Trent Reznor, and Trent Reznor was 23 years old when he wrote that song, and I thought it was the darkest song ever when he wrote it, but you hear Cash singing it right before he passed away. If you're in the mood to cry, folks, and I don't know if you are, if you want to go home, go on YouTube and type in Hurt, then type in Johnny Cash, and then watch that video, which is just this collection of different images and videos of him from the beginnings of his career, and it ends with he and June Carter kind of embracing. And then by the time the video actually came out, I believe she had just passed away. It is as sad gets. This one isn't, though. This is a happy song about going to jail. On a Monday, I was arrested On a Tuesday they locked me in the jail. On a Wednesday my trial was attested. On a Thursday they said guilty as the judge's gavel fell. I got stripes, stripes around my shoulders. Oh, I've got chains around my feet. I've got stripes, stripes around my shoulders. All them chains, they're about to drag me down. On a Monday, I got my striped breeches. On a Tuesday, I got my ball and chain. On a Wednesday, I'm working digging ditches. On a Thursday, Lord, I begged him not to knock me down again. I got stripes, stripes around my shoulders. Oh, I've got chains, chains around my feet. I've got stripes, stripes around my shoulders. All them chains, they're about to drag me down. On a Monday, my mama come to see me. On a Tuesday, they caught me with a file. Oh, on a Wednesday, I'm down in solitary. Oh, on a Thursday, I start on bread and water for a while. I've got stripes, stripes around my shoulders. Oh, I've got chains, chains around my feet. Oh, I've got stripes, stripes around my shoulders. All them chains, they're about to drag me down. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm going to do a couple more for you. I have a mailing list over there, or business cards if you want to find out more information. I am everywhere out here in the months ahead, and I'll be doing different versions. Whether a lot of Willie this summer. And I have a book that I wrote about the Highwaymen that people seem to like. And yeah, if you didn't believe me, she's like, oh yeah, we'll get this. Funny story about that book, folks. I bought 1,000 copies of the book. I was confident when I first made the book. I bought 1,000 copies. And about 2 weeks after I started selling the book, a guy came up to me and bought the book. And he told me that he was the editor for 30 years at the Dallas Morning News. And about 48 hours later, he sent me a list of minor corrections, but just a bunch of different little things that he would have tweaked. And I emailed him back. I'm like, listen, my dude, I'm totally on board with updating this, but I'm 1,000 books away from updating it, you know? And so I finally got to 1,000 book time, and I went to go order more, and I updated it, and I went to order more, and the company that I got the book from, like, doesn't even seem to really exist anymore. And this is book selling time for me this time of year, and so we were able to find a different place to have it made instead. I'm going to do this song. I was down in Nashville a little over a year ago, and I got to perform at a really great listening room down there called the City Winery. There's a City Winery in Boston as well, where I'm playing the songs of Johnny Cash next month. And I got to go down there and do the songs of the Highwaymen. And I had performed in Nashville a bunch of times doing my own music, but I had never done the Highwaymen thing. And I was petrified that there would be nobody there. It turns out people in Nashville, big country music fans, and it was wonderful. It was a wonderful night. And so they asked me if I wanted to go on the NBC morning show down there called Today in Nashville to help promote it. And I said yes. And I had done the show myself in the past. But in order to do the songs of these guys, I had to have written permission to do it on a network, and I couldn't do that because I wouldn't have even known where to start with the process, but it was thrown together very quickly. So I got to do 2 songs and a brief interview, and I did one song that was my own, and I really wanted something, though, to tie it together, the Highwaymen thing. And if a song is in the public domain, if it's over 100 years old, it goes into the public domain, and then anybody can do whatever they want with that song. And so I did the song Will the Circle Be Unbroken, which was written in 1908, and was a song that was very closely connected to Cash in a few different ways. And I really fell in love with a lot of the gospel records that Cash made. He made 5 different gospel albums. Willie Nelson made 3 really, really beautiful ones as well. And I just really kind of immersed myself in a lot of that music. And this is a song that's called Peace in the Valley. Well, I'm tired and I'm weary, but I must go alone till the Lord comes and calls me away. Well, the morning's so bright, oh, the Lamb is the light, and the night is fair as the day. Oh, there'll be peace in the valley for me someday. There'll be peace in the valley for me. Oh, there'll be no sadness, no sorrows, no troubles I see. There'll be peace in the valley for me. Well, the flowers will be blooming, all the grass will be green, and the skies will be clear and serene. Where the sun never beams on this valley of dreams, and no clouds will ever be seen. Oh, there'll be peace in the valley for me someday. There'll be peace in the valley for me. Oh, there'll be no sadness, no sorrow, no troubles I see. There'll be peace in the valley for me. Well, the bear will be gentle, oh, the wolf will be tame, and the lion shall lay down by the lamb. All the beasts from the wild, all will be led by a child, and I'll be changed from this creature that I am. Oh, there'll be peace in the valley for me someday. There'll be peace in the valley for me. Oh, there'll be no sadness, no sorrow, no troubles I see. Oh, there'll be peace in the valley for me. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm just going to do one more quick one. Thank you again for all coming out tonight. I'm going to end with I Walk the Line. You know, the one thing I wanted to just say about Cash is that, you know, one of the, I mentioned earlier how, like, you know, grandkids love these, that everybody loves Johnny Cash, and you know, it's an amazing thing traveling around and doing this thing that I do, because you get to meet people from all walks of life. And I was down in Tennessee maybe 2 years ago, and I was playing in the Smoky Mountains, and one of the one of the poorest areas I've ever seen in my life, just desperate rural poverty. And I played these songs to those folks, and they ate it up all night long. About a week later, I was down the Cape, and I was playing these songs at a yacht club down there. And those people ate it up the same way. And I really think that speaks volumes to just how Cash had this ability that almost nobody else had, to really kind of synthesize his lyrics in a way that were so easily digestible. You know, it's not Bob Dylan. I'm a huge Bob Dylan guy, but, you know, anyone can hear a Johnny Cash song. They can hear, you know, it's always funny when he sings a song and he didn't write it, like Sunday Morning Coming Down, for instance, because it's hard to imagine anyone else could have written that song, because it just sounds like he's lived it, you know. And so, so I thank you all for listening. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tide that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line.
find it very, very easy to be true. I find myself alone when each day is through. Oh, I'll admit, I'm a fool for you. Because you're mine, I walk the line. As sure as night is dark and day is light, I keep you on my mind both day and night. All happiness I've known proves that it's right. Because you're mine, I walk the line. You've got a way to keep me on your side. You give me cause for love that I can't hide. For you I know I'd even try to turn the tide. Because you're mine, I walk the line. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line. Because you're mine, I walk the line. Because you're